Welcome back, everybody. Let's dive right into this video. We are going to look at a few different missionaries and what they say about Isaiah 7:14, but I'm going to expose an extremely crucial lie that I've discovered with some of the commentary that their experts have made. So let's get right into it. All links and resources will be in the description below. Okay, guys, we are going to start off with one for Israel Ministries, but we're not going to just pick on them today. Oh, no. We are going to go after biblical apologetics, David Stern. We are going to explore a vast array of missionaries that have been lying to you and gaslighting you. But let's start with this article right here that asks if the virgin birth is a fairy tale or a biblical prophecy. I'm thinking it's a fairy tale. Now let's get into it. Like with many of their other deceptive and misleading articles, they go into a lot of anecdotal information that has nothing to do with what they're actually trying to deceive you with. They do discuss the history on what is going on in the book of Isaiah, but they don't use that to actually understand what the Jewish sages have to say about the word Alma. Instead, they want to use some accurate information in order to propel their Christian eisegesis. So after they tell you that they know a little bit about the history that's going on in Isaiah, and they seem to look legitimate, then and only then do they go into a section of their article that discusses the word Alma. The best lie is when a majority of what a person or article or entity is saying is actually the truth. When they start to discuss what the word Alma means, they have a little section in their article here that I really want to get into. So let's go for it. Another question we need to consider is how the word Alma was understood in ancient Judaism. The Septuagint is a Greek translation of the Old Testament made by 70 Jewish scholars long before the time of Jesus. And they translated the word Alma in Isaiah 7:14 to mean virgin. Wow, that's interesting. Now, let's take a look at some of their manipulative tactics here. First of all, they call it ancient Judaism, and then they call it the Old Testament, as though what was relevant then is not relevant today, as though what was understood then is not understood today. And while they don't explicitly state that, I think that anybody with half a brain can understand that these words set the stage for something being irrelevant. Oh, why would they do that, though? Could it be because they have a New Testament that they would like to feed you? Possibly. All right, now let's get into some other parts of this. They state that the 70 Jewish scholars, long before the time of Jesus, right, that they translated Isaiah 7:14. No, they didn't. These 70 Jewish scholars that they're talking about never even translated the entire Tanakh. They only translated the Torah. And only fragments of that translation actually still exist today. So they could not have possibly translated Isaiah 7:14. That right there is a blatant lie. Just go look up a Wikipedia article, go look up a lot of different resources, and you could see this to be true for yourself. Now, excuse me. Something else that I would like to get into is that it states that it was long before Jesus. Well, why would they be pointing that out? Because they want to try to imply that they were all under the same understanding that Alma meant virgin and that there was no dispute. The only reason that there would possibly be a dispute about the word Alma is because the Jews, have some sort of conspiracy theory about, oh no, we got to deny it now because we don't want Yeshu to be Mashiach. And if you think that I'm jumping the gun on making that assumption about why they would state that, I will prove to you that that's exactly why they think that the Jews don't agree with Alma, meaning virgin, today. Okay, so I am going to right now prove to you that they do indeed think that there is a conspiracy by the Jews to cover up what the word Alma actually meant then versus what the Jewish sages and current rabbis of today say now. So let's read this. In the same article, it states, the Jewish biblical scholar Dr. Frachtenbaum, writes that the rabbis quote Rashi as someone who interpreted the word Alma as a young woman, and concedes that Rashi does indeed consider the word in Isaiah 7:14 to refer to a young woman rather than a virgin. Oh, well, thank you for conceding. Thank you for admitting to that. We didn't need you to admit to that, by the way. Don't care if you agree with it or not. A fact is a fact. And who is Dr. Frachtenbaum? Oh, it's a Christian. Of course it's a Christian. It's Christians telling Christians that they're right. All right, so, however, now here it comes. Frachtenbaum points out that it's easy to understand why Rashi would take a different position in this particular case. Oh, here comes the conspiracy theory. He was involved in a polemical debate against Christians, and therefore, because that's got to be the reason why, he took an opposite position to the one which had been accepted up until his time. Oh, there it is, right there, blatantly said, in order to try to disprove Yeshu. Can I get a mic drop? Can I get a mic drop? This is exactly what I said that they were trying to state in the previous paragraph. That there is a conspiracy theory by the Jews to cover it up. That's why they said in ancient Judaism, Alma was understood to mean virgin. But today, it's not. That the Jews are so tricky and sneaky, right? Come on. Enough with the anti-Semitic rhetoric. Enough with the anti-Semitic thinking. Calling the Jewish religion, the Tanakh, the Torah, old, so that Christians can come in with their replacement theology and claim that they're the new enlightened ones. Come on, enough. It's not quite a blood libel, but it's in the same realm, and you know it. Christians will never replace Israel. Christians will never replace the Jews. And these conspiracy theories have been allowed to go on for too long. It's time to call it all out. Now, there's another part of this article that I would like to go into where I basically found out that they blatantly lie about what Rashi actually says. All right, so whatever mental giant wrote this article decides to really bury themselves because they state Rashi himself indicated that other Jewish scholars producing biblical commentary in his time also interpreted the word Alma in Isaiah 7:14 as virgin. No, Rashi does not think that Alma means virgin at all. This is a blatant lie. And there is a well-documented lie about this that spread like wildfire, and it was started by a man named David Stern. David Stern wrote, the complete Jewish Bible, where he inserted the New Testament. He added all this fancy schmancy Hebrew to it, and he even called the New Testament the Brit Hadashah in order to make it look super Jewish. But I'm telling you right now, he's one of the biggest leading reasons why people think that Rashi stated this. Now, David Stern corrected himself, and he admitted that he was wrong, that he didn't actually have a valid source where he could prove that Rashi said any of this at all. Because Rashi didn't say this. Rashi's never said this. They're lying on Rashi, and David Stern admits he cannot prove it. How do I know this? I used to have one of David Stern's books when I was tricked by the messianics. David Stern did not do his homework. He inserted facts without any proof or evidence or due diligence at all. And I'm going to expose it. I'm going to show you what David Stern said and David Stern's retraction, his public retraction. Now down here, they go to an extra level of psychosis, and they make another lie and say that ancient Jewish sages also held the belief that the Messiah wouldn't have a biological father. Here is what they taught. The Redeemer, whom I shall raise up from among you, will have no father. And then they state that their source for that is Genesis Rabbah. Okay. From Rabbi Moshe Ha-Darshan. Well, here's a problem with this. One, the Jewish sages do not have the belief, never had the belief, that Mashiach wouldn't have a father. That's a lie. That is a blatant lie. So we've got two blatant lies here. I mean, it's one thing to misunderstand something, and it's one thing to have an eisegesis, where you see something in the text that isn't there. Okay? It's an entirely different thing to blatantly lie to you. This is what we call a wolf in sheep's clothing. You want to have a different opinion? You want to have a different interpretation? That's one thing, okay? That's a difference of opinion. This is not that. This is a lie. Now let's go into what David Stern said and his public retraction. Okay, so David Stern would produce these books, which would give you a lot of commentary on the Christian New Testament. One of his books titled Jewish New Testament Commentary, and he didn't just write one of these books. He wrote several editions of this book, and his lie about what Rashi said was actually published in several of those editions until he was forced to correct himself. And if you look at, you could look this book up online, and if you can go anywhere that has a book preview about the book, you will find this. Or if you already have the book yourself because you were once tricked by these people, here is and this is David Stern's, what he wrote, his own saying, his own quote. So, Victor Buxbazen, however you want to say his name, a Hebrew Christian. Guess what, guys? A Christian is just a Christian. In his commentary, the prophet Isaiah quoted Rashi as writing that in Isaiah 7:14, Alma means virgin. In the first 4 editions of the Jewish New Testament commentary, I cited this Rashi. It has been pointed out to me that Rashi did not write what I represented him as having written. Boom. So I have removed the citation from the main body of the JNTC and herewith apologize for not checking the original source. He admits Rashi didn't say it. And for anybody who wants to say that, he was citing Victor, well, one, he was either lazy and didn't do his homework in making sure that Victor was correct, or 2, he did start to go do his homework right after everybody was probably calling him out on this. And Victor didn't have a legitimate source for this. Because if Victor had a legitimate source for his lies against Rashi, then David Stern would have been better off finding those sources and actually finding where Rashi had stated this about Alma meaning virgin, but he couldn't find anywhere that Rashi stated Alma meant virgin, which is why David Stern had to make his retraction. They lied. One for Israel Ministries is lying to you. This is proof. There's hardcore evidence. They are lying to you. Lying. Rashi never said Alma meant virgin. How many times do I need to say this to you? They just admitted to lying. This is huge, guys. This is serious. These Christian scholars, these messy antics, these Hebrew Christians just blatantly admitted that he lied, because it's not just David Stern. David Stern takes out Victor with him. Both Victor and David Stern lied. And for those who can't follow what I'm saying here, I'll make it real simple for you. If Victor had a valid source, then David Stern would give that source. But Victor lied. David Stern believed Victor's lie and repeated it. Then when David Stern was called out, he admitted it. Rashi never says that Alma in Isaiah 7:14 means virgin. I'm going to actually go into a lot more and expose a whole lot more lies. But I want you guys to digest this. I want you guys to see that, one, these Christians have been accusing Jews falsely. They've been anti-Semitic in their attacks. That there's some conspiracy theory by the Jews to change the word Alma. And then they take the Jewish sages and insert words in their mouth that they never said. They get proven in their lies. What do you do about it, Christians? What do you do about it? Do you hold them accountable? Do you analyze your own eisegesis? Do you start to sit there and question, am I really on the right path here? If for any reason even a part of you suspects that there is anti-Semitism involved with this, you need to reevaluate everything that you think that you know about Mashiach, and you need to go to the Jewish rabbis. And if you're a Jew, I don't care if another Jew is telling you that Yeshua is Mashiach. That's an apostate. And you get away from that apostate. They've already been harmed. They've already been injured. They've already been wounded by the anti-Semites. They can't save you. They can't help you. They are only going to hurt you. And they will not stop either. I guarantee you that even though I've just exposed this lie, they'll say, so what, and shrug it off. And they'll try to push the next lie down your throat. And we're going to go into every single one of them. Get away from those Jewish apostates. If you're in Israel and you don't know who to go to, leave a comment. Reach out to me. I will help you. You aren't alone. Or you can email me at unityandpurpose@gmail.com. If you need help, reach out. And if you don't want to reach out to me, go to Tovia Singer, go to Jews for Judaism, go to Rabbi Ariel Bar Sadok, go to any Jewish rabbi who will help you. Even just go to a local shul, especially if you're in Israel. This has to stop. Now, we need to discuss the fact that they said that the Mashiach will not have a father. And we are going to do that in the next video because I want you guys to take a minute to just digest everything I've said to you.